For the sake of this practice, I need to make a choice. Not too long ago, I asked a question on Instagram about how would you set up your training if you had like 10 foundations that you need to work on. So based on my question, I'm gonna pick out 10 foundations, kind of like picking out my Pokemons that I'm gonna use in battles. Starting with 5, then at least I would have one foundation per day that I would work on, so that every week I work on these 5 foundations. And then slowly I want to add 5 more so that I do practice 2 foundations per day. Foundations that I do use a lot so that I can go even further, and then to balance it out with foundations I don't use a lot but that I would want to go deeper with. By the end of this week, I will have picked out my 10 foundations that I will work on for the coming future. Another daily habit. The Leviathan flow is solid. This is me. This is how I want to move and further expand my vocabulary and how I use my body. And then now we're starting to add the dance practice side of it. I need to pick out the foundations that I want to dive deeper with. And for that, I brought out my little planner, because this is where I've written everything. What I practice most and what I spend most of my time trying to become very good at, I don't want to use the word master because that's too much weight in it. Style that I study and that I'm always trying to become better at is house dance. And for the people that practice house dance and for the people that are familiar with house dance, know that it contains a lot of footwork. So now it comes to my own practice. During the time that I've studied house dance, I've come across a lot and I've written them all down. The names might vary depending on who you learned from or where you studied house dance. Some of them are basically variations of one another. I'm not quite sure, but I get it to a 37. These things are not important. What is important is that I am gonna choose. I can easily feel FOMO, wanting to be good at all of them, have the feeling of being complete. The plan is to select a few, and within the coming 6 months, I'm gonna practice these foundations. Now, I just wanna quickly differentiate between mastering a couple of foundations versus being familiar with all of them. So I become so good that with these selected few, I will be able to play and vary them so much so that it would almost feel like I had 4 times the amount. They're gonna develop, gain experience, and they're gonna evolve. Choosing is hard. I'm gonna go for 10 foundations that I'm gonna pick to practice, and the idea long term is to get to a point where I practice 2 foundations per day. And then I need to choose and then commit. Now the question is, how am I gonna pick? 3 pens, 3 different colors. I'm thinking to first just check what foundations do I already use, what foundations do I maybe use sometimes, and what foundations do I never use. Let's check. These I don't use at all. Alright, don't feel bad, kinda. It's okay. At least you know these steps. These I avoid at all costs. Alright, how do we pick from this? Pick 10. Because do I want to pick the steps that I already use a lot? That would make sense. And then add? Yeah, I'll do that. These are like same and these are like similar. Alright, This is tough. That is life. You have to make choices. You can't have everything. Me picking my 10 does not mean that I can never do everything else. I'm thinking to give myself 2 months, should be maybe 3 months, because there's no stress. There's literally no stress. I could also, during this 6 coming months, that I just focus on 5. And after 6 months, I add the other 5. At the end of the day, my training, my practice, I cannot stress it. We cannot stress progress, we cannot stress development. It's about the quality and not the quantity. Things will make sense. 10 that I'm gonna commit to, develop, go deeper with. Alright, but this is a start. I will announce these maybe at some point. Yeah, no, why not? I mean, I don't see why these would be a secret. I am sharing with you my practice, so why not? But this is a start. I'm happy I did this. Alright.